Man with plan.
At 9:30, I
No, I know, you can, I believe me.
Don't get excited.
I've lost some years.
It's right, it's in my car, in my parking lot, and then I write myself, you know, I'm like, ah, right.
Never check the ground. Fortunately, we got another house, that couple closed last week.
I know, we're on false hope. I have my sister-in-law and her family moved out on Saturday. So I'm ready to have my house back. And have a nice guys. I miss them too. I learned how to get a house. 15 minutes. They're right down the road. So Jason's sister. Her and I were actually friends before Jason. So we make jokes about Jason not So we've been loving the time together, and the kids have been loving the time together and everything. And now it's like, the kids are at school, and my nephew hasn't started school yet, because they procrastinated registering them for everything else. So I think they register them today, and then we can make sure all the whole paperwork is finished. I don't know what they are. So, yeah. She was mad that her brother was like, so I got and then she's about the invitation Thursday afternoon. You're the best place to work. Yeah. Yes. Like, where you like, please give me leave. Or they yeah. Where is she going to college at? I don't know. I must have like done something because he seems Good
morning, sir. Dr. Minority. How are you? Arm hurts, collaboration. Well, hurts right here.
That is so
Use the other arm. I like that. That's why the Lord gave you two of them. Exactly right.
Senior year. So that's what you guys decided here.
I'm afraid to ask. Did you close? Not yet. Is it close?
Well, yours sounds worse than oh. Yeah.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want you to turn the person beside you. I want you to ask them. I want you to ask them if they think we're going to get 5.75% interest rates this year. Heather, let's go for 5 minutes, okay? Go for it. What are you going to do?
Friday. Depends on how much.
Sure.
Sure.
You know what he's talking about, right? It was like. That's a big deal. Those are only based on.
I've been surprised before, usually I'm surprised.
Pay for it.
Yeah, I just think it's more it's supposed to be based on what you sell on the project, so, some of those are loans out. They charge an extra $20 now, and it's like, it just makes everything else more expensive if they want.
I don't know, maybe it's from my house. For the keyboard, that the wireless, I would really have. Was that dead? I'm really excited.
Because it's fine.
It was so cool, he has so much money. But I'm really
Come back together, you all. Tell me what y'all decide.
Thank you.
It's gonna happen. What do you think? It's gonna happen? You say no, why not?
No, it's just. She was saying.
Yes, kids are back in school.
The bond market, never not. I feel like the Fed's gonna hold it where it is.
Virginia come in today?
You don't see it happen.
I see maybe low sixes,
You think what?
maybe low sixes. I don't think
Maybe low sixes, 625?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're almost distant, we're just spending distance to that now.
Yeah.
Where are we right now?
So I priced one out yesterday, I believe it's 6.49. So, I mean, we're, and 6.25, paying a little bit, you can get there.
I think it's gonna be a 5 by the end of the year, but not 5. It might get into 5.
You know as much more about it than I know, which is cool.
No, I don't know anything, I'm just.
You're out there, living in the market.
I projected.
It would be nice if we had a crystal ball.
All I know is that, someone will make that decision, and it looks, how long has it been at 6.7%, guys? How long? 18 months?
Yeah, seems about like that.
18 months or 6?
Somewhere right there.
Well, Jim, you know, not to beat this horse to death, but I mean, the question is, are mortgage rates gonna follow the bond market? I mean, or to follow the Fed funds rate, because that didn't happen last September, but I will say, there is a move, general trend lower right now. So we're hopeful, right?
When you say there's a move for it to go lower, tell me what that means.
So the bond market has, improved.
Camden County Wildcats, they have died.
The bond market has improved over the last week or so, and rates have come down a little bit. I'd say a quarter point.
Alright? We can go over, please, we go over, please, so people come in. We go over, please, thank you. Thank you, yeah. Well, anyway, guys, what I'm hearing from companies like Trust, they see, 0.5% now, down, and maybe 0.5% for the end of the year, which will put us in the 5 range, so we'll see. So we'll see, right? Anybody else thought anything differently? So just for fun, who thinks we'll see 5 something by the end of the year? Who thinks we'll probably stay around 6.5 through the end of the year? Okay, all right, cool, great. I used to think I understood that better than I do. I had no clue. I made the next couple of years it was gonna come down, that never happened. And so that sounds good. All right, that sounds great. Let's move on. Alliance Partners, Thomas and Brown. I do not see Thomas or Brown here right now, so we will move on. Mega Mixer, guys, just reminding you that if you're coming to Mega Camp next week in Austin, in San Antonio, if I go Austin, will be lost for a page. Exactly right there. There's gonna be a Mega Mixer with Thomas and Brown. They do a fabulous party. Please come and do that. Back to basics, Master GR contracts. We love being able to do that. So register today. We love Cheryl. She's fabulous, and so please register for that. Coming up soon. Line partners, who's up?
That would be me, us, Danielle.
Just in time.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Some lucky person will get this beautiful arrangement. That's from my daughter, Off Hill Flowers. Don't forget, guys, that she came in last night with like an armload like this of dahlias and all kinds of stuff like that. So she is loaded with flowers right now. Well, I'm Reed Clark with Silverton.
I'm Danielle Delaney with Silverton.
And Danielle's gonna tell you something important, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
actually have some good news. So trigger leads are no longer, they're ending.
You should be clapping if you're not.
A trigger lead is when we pull somebody's credit and the credit bureau sells the information to other lenders, and those lenders send unsolicited offers to the client. And it can be completely overwhelming, confusing. I mean, I've heard of people getting contacted 30, 40 times. right
My
after
wife
the deal
got
was
70, I pulled her credit just for fun.
So,
Last year,
just.
well,
Did she
probably wasn't supposed to.
Did she say thank you for doing that?
Well, she wanted to know what her credit score was, but anyway, she got
Yeah.
blown up.
Yeah, so very excited to share that news.
And, yeah, this is a big thing, because it's passed by unanimous vote, so that's gonna become law. I don't know exactly when. Did you hear when, Hunter?
I did not.
Hopefully pretty soon, because that mess needs to stop. Because they always blame us. They go, why, who'd you sell my info to? My phone's getting blown up. I've gotten 65 phone calls.
I have people that think it's me that keep calling.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, some of them even would mention Silverton Mortgage or Supreme or whoever to make it sound like it was them. Jim, related to your question about interest rates, there were two things that happened on Friday that bear noticing and watching. First of all, one of the Fed governors decided that she was going to resign. She's going in another direction. But that will open up a slot on the Fed board, so the president will appoint someone as a Fed governor. This is important because when Jay Powell's term ends next year in May or March, I can't remember which it is, somebody has to be a Fed governor in order to be considered for that role. So whoever is appointed now may have a bearing. Personally, let me say this about the whole Fed thing, guys. It is easy because we are people who love to attribute motive to a lot of people, and we want to find causality on all kinds of stuff. The role of the Federal Reserve is a complicated role. They've been given two mandates. And is it possible that the decisions of the Fed could be politically motivated? Is it possible?
Is it possible?
Okay, it's possible.
Right?
Is it necessarily the case?
No.
Because, here's the thing, guys, it is not cause and effect when decisions are made at the Fed's level. There are so many things, if we do this, is it gonna cause this? And there's a fear of saying, okay, let's be too hasty to do this because it could cause this down the road, and how are we gonna unwind that? If you don't think that's the case, look at what happened back in 2020 when rates dropped down into I got a client right now. Actually, it's not my client anymore because they're assuming a VA loan that's on the books at 2.75%. Unintended consequences. Was anybody thinking at that time that if we do this, it's going to stagnate the market now? And it has. It's the handcuffs where people don't want to give up their 2.5% mortgage. So I guess my view is I kind of give a little bit of grace to the people that are making those decisions because it's not quite as simple. Do we all want to see interest rates come down? Yes. Do we want to see interest rates come down precipitously and then it cause some other big problem down the road? No. So I would just hold those opinions a little bit lightly because some of that stuff is difficult. I will say this, it's interesting that Mr. Powell, not being an economist, was put in that role. I don't know if that was the best role. I don't know if he's done a good job or not. But anyway, something's going to be changing in the next year. The other thing that happened was that the lady who heads up the Bureau of Labor Statistics was fired. Now, I hate this when this stuff seems political, and it probably was, but it's been a long time that people have been complaining about the way those statistics were gathered. Now, was it her fault? Not necessarily, But she's been in that role for a year and a half and nothing changed.
And that timing could have been better.
The timing, that's what I meant, Gabe, is it makes it look so political rather than this person really wasn't doing their job. They've got to change the way that those statistical models work, because when you come back 6 months later, or 3 months later, or 2 months later, and you revise the numbers by 250,000 jobs, your model's broken. There's gotta be a better way. Like, for example, the people who are polled, maybe it should be mandatory replies, because only 40% of the businesses that are surveyed are even given their answers on some of this stuff. So, hopefully, God willing, we'll see some better data in the future about jobs. But right now, it looks like the job market is weak, which could cause the Fed to lower rates more quickly than they thought they were going to. That's all I got. Maybe that was worth something, but the flowers are more interesting than me. So, who has a birthday in August? Oh my goodness. Y'all wanna arm wrestle?
Mine is August 10th.
What's your date?
August 10th.
August 10th.
21st.
Finally.
And guys, we put a hand sanitizer on your desk because your kids are gonna go and get all those other kids that are so nasty and have germs, they'll protect you from it. Yes.
All right, Thomas and Brown is finally here.
Finally, I was just downstairs helping with the closing. The line closing is the worst. It's okay. Jim likes to give me one time, but anyway, good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly. What time? What'd she say?
Why not?
Why not, right?
I get paid well to do that.
Very good. Well, I'm Carrie with Thomas and Brown. If you've not had a chance to meet yet, we have a couple of upcoming events. If you're going to Mega Camp in San Antonio, our event is going to be Monday night, Thompson Hotel, rooftop, indoor, outdoor options. So don't worry, we won't be sweating outside with no AC. We're going to have several KW offices there, so it'll be a great time for networking. And just so we look forward to it. And then our next CE class is going to be on the 14th from 1 to 4. Cheryl will be teaching the back to basics, mastering the GAR contract. We're going to talk about stipulations, all things contracts, just to make you guys, yes.
Is it broker credit?
It is. Hold on. Is
Will
this
you
one?
note that on the flyers?
Stand by. Let me make sure this one is. She got a lot of them.
Last line.
Yep, it is. Very last line.
Okay, I can't read.
Yeah, so we get, you can have agency credits, 3 hours, or broker CE credits as well, so that's good. She has submitted most of our classes for broker approval. And if you guys have ever submitted anything for approval, you know it takes a while and they like to argue. So anyway, Cheryl usually wins though, so most of ours are now approved for broker CE. So we're gonna make it a little more obvious on the top of like a rocket or something that says broker CE. So that'll be good. So thank y'all very much. Have a great day.
Well, hey guys, I'm joining Social Media Mania. And we have a new contest, and I'm gonna let Kennedy come up. Can I welcome our new associate, our social media person? Come on.
Yes, it's true, social media mania. So as a team, Keller Williams as a whole, or Keller Williams and North, we will be taking the next month from August 5th to September 5th to join in on social media mania. So I don't know if this is, you can see on here, so this is one of the things that you'll see posted. We will be trying to post 3 times a week at minimum. There's a hashtag that will also be used. It'll be on some more slides that I have to show you. And the winner, because this is a giveaway, and I know you guys like getting things as much as I do, will be announced on September 9th on the meeting. So the next slides show a little bit more about it. If we can have them move on to the next.
One sec.
I can go ahead and talk to you guys about it for a while it's going on. So basically, there is going to be a giveaway to 4 winners. So you have the opportunity on 4 different platforms. We have LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are your 4 options. All right, yeah, you can go ahead and go to the next one. So what is social media mania?
Social Media Mania is an entire month dedicated to increasing the use of social media platforms across the board. This goes for agents as well as the staff, myself included. We will be monitoring engagement and coming together to compare results at the end of the month. That way we can tally together who has gotten the most engagement. We will be guiding you through reading and understanding your backend metrics. So this is one, to help you guys get comfortable with posting, but two, so that we can help you understand the back end of it and really walk you through what it looks like to monitor things like that. And lastly, like I said, we will be awarding 4 people with the highest engagement at the end of the month with $100 cash in your hand, which I know is awesome to have. So, how do I participate? Post at least 3 times a week on one of the 4 platforms that are listed below. Use the hashtag #SocialMediaMania and tag us in the post. And that's it. That is all you have to do. Again, the 4 platforms are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And this will go from August 5th to September 5th, and then we will compare results on September 9th, if anything. So the next slide. So how we can help you in this process is that we will be providing you with 2 posts a week that you can either post. One will be post as is if you'd like to, and the other will be one that you can edit. It'll be probably a Canva template that you can plug in your own information into with like your headshots, with a little bit of like about you, just some things like that. But you are not required to post these, but they will have a description as to why you may want to post them. So it could be things like stats, it could be, you know, like fall tips for your house. How soon is too soon to decorate for Halloween was one of the ideas that we threw out there. So just something that you'll be able to post so that you can see the type of content that you could post if you were wanting to get into this more. And like I said, I haven't said this yet, but after the first week of the challenge is finished, so in the next team meeting, I will be going back over with you how to look at those backend metrics, and you can do that at the same time as I'm walking through it so that you can see what it looks like per platform. And then, so yes, winners announced. The contest ends, like I said, on September 5th, and the winners will be announced on September 9th, in which you will receive your cash prize. So the thing with the winners, like I said, 4 opportunities, will be taking the highest on each platform. So 1 winner per platform. So if you have, say you're not really wanting to focus on Facebook, you don't have to do on all 4. You can pick one that you would like to focus on more, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and push your content there. I would recommend doing it on multiple platforms if you want to get comfortable with that. Facebook and Instagram have the option to link your accounts, so you can post it simultaneously on both, which is a great option if you're looking to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. Does anyone have any questions as of right now? Yes, John?
To see the back-end metrics, should they bring their laptops to team meeting next week?
I would say yes. Your laptop, sometimes you can use like your phone. Like I have the Meta Business app on my phone that I can look through, but I find it easier to use your computer because it's just a more user-friendly interface on the website. And most of them you can view in-app, so you don't have to get another app to look at it. But Facebook has Meta, it's like the Meta Business app. You can download, very easy to read, it logs you in automatically, and you can look at your metrics through that.
So the 2 posts that you're going to share, are you going to send them to all of us via email or how?
Yes, I'm gonna send it out through the office email list. It'll have the 2 posts with a description as well. So yeah, it'll go out. I'm gonna send out the first 2 after this meeting today, and then I feel like I'm probably gonna send it out after the daily meetings. So keep a lookout for those.
There is no doubt that social media is being used heavily these days to prospect for leads. My nephew called me in December of 2023 and said, "Pop, I'm getting out of business. I only closed 8 things." And he said, "I'm getting out of business." And I said, "Well, buddy, we don't quit. That's not an option. We don't quit." So he did not quit. And so last year he closed 48 units. He did it mostly through social media. Who in here thinks they do a great job of social media? And that's what I perceive. So guys, we think this is a tool you can use to help you grow your business. I've heard from 2 social media people, they both said consistency is the way to make it work. You have to do every prescribed time. Every day is probably the best way, but if not, at least do it 3 times a week. So we're gonna help you with that process. So stay tuned. We have a great lady that's gonna help us manage that process. Will add anything to it at all, Sean?
What was that, sir?
Do you want to add anything to it?
No.
Virginia had a question. This is fantastic. Thank you all for putting this together. It's gonna be a big help.
Well, we want to show you how to do it, and and this lady last week, who heard Peyton last week? She was incredible. She's energy beyond what I can believe. Plus the mother of 2 boys, and so she has a lot of energy, as you all know. Anyway, she basically, said that, and I get this wrong, she said, when I put something on Facebook, I no longer look at the likes. I look at who actually saw the posting. I could have 3 likes, but I could have 75 people that looked at it. So guys, we're gonna teach you how to do that and how it looks so you can tell your saw. I know I only had 3 likes on the list I put on Facebook, but behind I'll be able to find out about 125 people looked at it. So guys, we're gonna give you the tools that you need, right? All right, any questions at all? This is late to ask.
This team meeting, this coming team meeting,
Yes, ma'am.
I just have a quick comment for those of you that are
Please
of my
stand up.
age.
That's what you're.
I didn't even know about the metrics and how you can gauge the metrics. And since Kennedy's been here, she's sort of shown us what that looks like. So you can kind of see where you can put your time where it matters versus just posting stuff to post it. So I would really encourage you to come next week with your laptops and let her walk you through where the metrics are so that you can do a really good comparison of where you can really get the most out of your time and out of what you're posting.
I think Emil had a question.
One more question,
Yes.
sorry. Is Quan a business or creator account?
You're a business account.
Okay. Because I tried to share y'all as a collaborator again, but since I had music, I couldn't.
Yes,
I didn't
that can sometimes be an issue since we are a business account, there's a lot of copyright things that happen. Like if you're a creator account, which is what I think should be recommended for agents, it's different, you guys have access to all different sorts of copyright things with Instagram and Facebook. But we unfortunately as a business have that cut off for businesses.
We make sure everything's recorded
Sure, I'm
for
sorry.
folks who are at Mega Camp.
We will make sure that, but you may hear about some of this maybe came too.
I'll also have a PowerPoint and I can find you that, it'll have screenshots and stuff.
We can set up a time for her to teach a full-on class too.
Yeah,
Because
please do that.
I think that would be, like, where you can have sit-down Q&A, I think that would be best. So we'll put that together sometime this month. Be on the lookout for that.
We'll do anything we can to sustain your business and make it more productive. That's my main goal here, is to make it all productive. It's cool and profitable. Thank you. Let's give her a hand, guys. Thank you. Welcome, Heather.
She's online.
Online.
Where?
Online.
Online, okay. She's online, that's right. Guys, this is something that we are very excited about, and I've heard about it now, and I think you're gonna like having options. So are you online?
I am.
Cool. Welcome. It's good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Paul Williams, Atlanta North. Go ahead and tell us about what you have for us. I'm excited.
Sounds good. I tried to make it short and sweet because I know this is your team meeting, and I'm sending a request to share my screen if that's possible. Hopefully.
I hit allow.
Should be good.
Oh, here we go. All right. Should be able to see my screen. Somebody give me a thumbs up in the first row. Perfect. All right. Thanks so much for having me this morning. I think you guys maybe heard a little bit about Value Edge, but we're going to dive in today. So Value Edge is going to be powered by Notable. We are going to be your financing solution for your seller specifically to defer any of those home prep. I like to say home prep or seller prep solutions until the close of escrow. So at a 50,000 foot view, like the main nuggets that you need to know is that we are an unsecured line of credit that is up to $50,000. We are not going to impact the seller's credit score. So we actually do a soft pull. Application process is super fast. I've had a seller apply, pull funds out within 7 minutes. And like I mentioned, we're going to be paid back through escrow. So why would you guys want to leverage this program? Obviously, your leadership team brought this program to you for a reason. One, tool in your tool belt to win more listings. Number one, that's going to be the forefront of this program. But secondly, homes that are prepped are the ones that are going to be moving off the market faster. People want to walk into move-in ready. They don't want to have to lift a finger. Secondly, I like to say that this solves that no cash problem. So some sellers may say, hey, Heather, I have cash, but I'm actually going to use it on the next property that I'm moving into. I'm going to use it on that down payment. Or I do have cash, but it's tied up in my 401k. Like I just don't have any liquid cash available. Well, now you guys have a solution to go back to your sellers and say, hey, I've got this product for you that will give you that financing access to cash that you can leverage. And then my other favorite one that I've been coaching agents on is like, this is a great program to be able to go back and re-engage either sellers that you've been talking to say, hey, check out this new program that I have. Or maybe you have some stale listings or sellers that didn't listen to you in the first place when you told them that they needed to fix A, B, and C, or they needed to repaint, their black living room. Great way to go back and re-engage those sellers as well. So there's a slew of other benefits to this program, but I just wanted to chat through a couple. So what can your sellers leverage this program? As you can see, this list is very, very long. So I like to say, think of it as home prep, your typical home prep, paint, carpet, landscaping, but it goes beyond that. We can cover moving expenses. We can cover storage expenses like a pod. Maybe the sellers have to move out because they're renovating the entire kitchen. So they don't have a kitchen to eat in. They got to move out for a couple days while that's happening. We've covered pet boarding. Maybe you have to get the 4 dogs out while you guys are having an open house over the weekend. We've helped a 96-year-old move into assisted living. We covered 4 months of her assisted living. So it goes well beyond just like home prep. But I also love to think about it as a solution. So that's like pre-getting the home ready for sale. It's a great solution for like mid-sale as well. I'm sure several of you agents have had it where the buyer comes in and they bring their own inspector and they ask the seller to fix A, B, and C, or they want a price reduction. What are you guys going to coach your sellers to do? Fix the things versus taking a price reduction. And maybe the sellers don't have the money to fix the item. So a great solution to say, hey, I've got this program, I've got capital available for you guys to leverage to now fix these items. So like I said, home prep and sale prep solution. So what does it cost your sellers? Very, very affordable. So there is an origination fee that is up to $4.99, which is deducted directly from the principal. So let's say I go and apply, I'm approved for $20,000. Technically, I have access to $19,500. So we basically just shave it right off the top when they start spending the funds. And then there is an annualized interest rate, which I don't want you guys to have to remember. You're not the expert in this. But if you have to talk about interest with the sellers, my best coaching advice is to say, on average, when you work with this program, a seller would pay about 1% interest per month. And that is only on the funds that are spent. So Heather was approved for $20,000. She only spent $10,000, which is about $100 a month. Most of our sellers are closing escrow in about 3 months. So that's $300 in interest. And what's really great about our program is it is free to apply. So we don't charge interest on anything until they spend it. We don't charge the origination fee until they start spending money. So free to apply, no interest, no charges. And also, if they don't use it, they just close the line of credit, so that's great. So as soon as you guys are signing a listing agreement, you can say, hey, we have this program, let's get you set up front. If we don't need the program, you can go ahead and close it out at the end. So what does the application process look like? Remember when I said it's pretty fast for most of our sellers? So the seller will apply on any device. Mobile device can be from their laptop as well. The agent, you guys are actually a part of the application flow. So they'll select you as their agent from a drop-down list. You guys as the agent will verify, yep, Heather Bonelli is my client at 123 Main Street, and her list price is $900,000, or you can decline it if maybe that was the wrong information. But until that happens, they're not able to get a line of credit through us. Once you guys confirm it, we do all of our underwriting behind the scenes. We're doing our soft pull behind the scenes, and then we present the seller with what they were approved for. with, like I said, is in minutes. They sign electronically and they're off to the races. They can use the funds from signing the line of credit for up to 6 months. And then basically they are pushed into a seller portal where they will upload any quotes or invoices or statements of work from any vendors that they work with, and funds can be deposited directly in the seller's bank account. And that's it. Once they're done using all of their funds, and you guys go ahead and get that home into, sign that listing agreement and the sale agreement, and get that home sold, we are paid back through escrow.
Heather, it's Jim Alexander. Explain to them about they cannot cancel a listing agreement while they have this line of credit, whatever you want to call it. Tell them a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah, so that's really great. So our agreement with the seller, although it's powered by Notable, right? So it's actually, we are the financing solution. I think it says it 18 different times that they are using this program, which means they have to have an agent with the Rawls Group. So they can't cancel the agreement and go with somebody at Redfin, or they will have to pay the lady, as I like to say. So that should hopefully answer the question there. Basically, it accelerates their payment.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to round it all out, and then I'll pause for any other questions in the room, and then I'm going to take you to your agent resource center that has everything that you guys are going to need to talk about the program, marketing materials, client application link, all that good stuff. So first and foremost, we want you guys to have a listing agreement in place with the seller. Again, it is a line of credit that is up to $50,000. Quick and easy application. The seller will know if they are approved or declined and what they are approved for. No impact to that credit score, meaning no impact to their DTI. So if they are moving on to another home, it won't impact them when they go and apply for that mortgage. Low cost, about 1% interest per month. And then the basic qualifications, meaning what a seller would be, what's what I'm looking for, either accepted or declined, is there is a minimum FICO score of 680, enough equity in their property, which is about 20 to 30%. That's to ensure that you guys can get paid your commission, and that Notable can get paid back as well. We can also work with entities, obviously outside of a homeowner, so LLCs, trusts, estates. Sellers can also ask us for an immediate $5,000 to be deposited directly in their account. So they sign their agreement and they say, hey, ooh, Notable, I want $5,000 immediately deposited. That is we ask no questions on what they're spending it on. So it's really great for those cash vendors. After they spend that $5,000 though, they have to upload those quotes, those invoices, those statements of work. And then like I already mentioned, we're paid back through escrow. And then I am going to pause now for questions before I move on to the Agent Resource Center.
Talking about questions, excuse me.
Are the sellers able to use their own vendors?
Yes, we are vendor agnostic, so we do not care who they are. So it's a great opportunity for some of you agents who maybe you had a cleaning person and a painting person and a plumber that you've worked with forever to make your own recommendations to your sellers.
Who else? In this quiet group here, y'all never quiet, so what?
I was like, was I just that clear and concise this morning?
You must have been fabulous, Heather. You must have had your second cup of coffee already. We love it. I got anything before we let her move on.
What's been the biggest drawback or the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome with the program?
The biggest obstacle is making sure that agents, and I think this is kind of brokerage by brokerage, but making sure agents don't see us as a distressed solution. So we are not a solution for sellers who are in a financially distressed state in their life. That would be the biggest thing. Hence, if you see the FICO score is 680,
right,
we're an unsecured line of credit. So that's how we protect ourselves.
Yeah, you take the agent out of being the bank. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, if I do see like 500s start rolling in from KW Rolls, that means I have to do my job better and I have to coach the team up. So that's a really good question, Liz.
Cool. All right. Anybody else?
All right, so really quickly, I know you guys all have your mobile devices on you. So if you can take out your camera, this QR code is going to take you to your agent resource center. So it's going to have their client application link. It's going to have marketing materials. It's also going to have an expense listing calculator. For those of you that are on the Zoom, this URL will get you there as well. I'm going to sit there for like 10 more seconds. I can't fully see the room, so let me know when I'm good to move over.
I will.
Okay.
Well, anything else? Anybody have a question at all? This is your time. Last but not least, Heather, tell us why we should trust you and your company.
Because we're amazing. No.
I asked the question.
Why should you trust us? So we've been in business, I think it's going on about 6 years now. I love to say we did a proof of concept, which is kind of funny because the proof of concept is usually pretty short. With Compass, we are Compass Concierge's financing solution. They decided to go out and try to test another product line using one of our competition. They ended up firing them and signing to work with us exclusively. So I feel like that describes how well we are. Our support team actually also, who supports the other side of the business, I know nothing about Compass. That's not who I work with. But their CSAT score is 96%. Last month, they got actually 100% in the month of July. So getting scores like that from agents and sellers, I also feel like speaks volumes about who we are and how we support our partners and clients.
Is that it, guys? Can we give her a hand? Thank you, Heather. Enjoy your day.
All right.
Thank you. All right, so before we get to this, tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. Lenders, y'all have any questions about that at all? Anything jumps out at you guys?
They're applying for a credit card.
Huh?
It's unsecured debt, and it's a credit card. I mean, it's no different than getting the money from anywhere else. It's convenient.
It's cheaper than a credit card.
What else? Anything else?
I think in a market where listings have to be really buttoned up, if your client needs to do, small things that get their house to be perfect, this could be something that's quick and easy if they don't happen to have the cash on hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's a great tool for you all, and I hope you see it as that. And of course, you will always do due diligence, but the best I can see, it's a great company and they do good work. That's all I care about. So that's great. All right. Any questions? Please go to that agent site. Anything else before I move on? Anybody at all? Let us move on. So guys, so tomorrow, Julia Shea Israel. Julia is, she was working for Gary Keller. Is now doing her own thing in written couple books. She is incredible talent. And Marjorie Caesar, I challenged her. I said, "Why don't you get Julia here?" Like laughing about it half-heartedly. And she said, "Okay." So she called Julia, and Julia is coming on her own dime, except we're covering her traveling expenses. So Julia's going to be here the 6th tomorrow at 11 to 12:30 live. She is. You need to hear her. She is some of the best talent in our company. She's written a book, The Color of Real Estate, that she's going to talk about. So guys, if you have time tomorrow, if you want to hear an incredible speaker, Julia is like, that's who you see on stage at MegaCamp. So she is fabulous. I'd love to fill up this room for her because she's that kind of talent. So if you have the time tomorrow and interest, I'd love you to be here with me because I'm excited to have Julia in our office.
Can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
say something about
Please,
that?
I'd love you to do that.
Because it's not just that she's a great speaker, it's the breadth and the length of her knowledge.
Yes.
For somebody like me, obviously who's Jamaican, who came over.
You're Jamaican?
Yeah, who came over to the land of the free, just hearing the history of the housing in this country and how we got to where we are today makes us appreciate it more, right? And the shoulders on which we stand on.
Because I'm excited to have Julia coming. And then after Julia, we're gonna have the ice cream party we didn't have last week because the ice cream truck broke down. And they lost $5,000 worth of ice cream. Is that number right? Is that what we told Kim? Like 5,000 ice cream?
Something like that.
It's a lot of ice cream.
Really, guys. So anyway, and there's some little tiny companies, they got, come, I'll tell you about your kids, if they're still there in school, so come have ice cream, and enjoy yourself.
That's an excused absence.
You what?
I think that's an excused
I
absence.
think it is too.
Yeah.
Exactly
Why not
right.
have it from 4 to 5?
But we're doing.
Thank you all, thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, so, if I ask you right now to describe the market, how would you describe the market? Brenda, Michelle, how would you describe the market right now?
I always like to say the tale of two markets. We've got some houses selling multiple offers and some houses too, so I think it's very varied out there.
And is it a simple answer why some of them are selling, some of them are not selling?
I don't know if it's a simple answer, but I think there's some price points and areas that have still have an immense shortage that those houses, agents are literally waiting for them to hit the market to get their people out there. And I think a lot of buyers are sitting on the sideline waiting for the interest rates to go down, and which is really what's supposed to happen in a lot of markets.
Anybody else, how would you describe the market?
It's kind of wonky. Compared to about a year, maybe 2 years ago, I showed in Smyrna, 3 weeks ago. And I actually had 8 great looking listings in the 200s that my buyer was like, I'm not in a rush, I'm not in a hurry. If it was 2 years ago, it probably would have been 3 listings in that price point, and we would have chosen one. But they're waiting. I mean, there are good things out there, but they're waiting on the interest rate to go down. And because we have more to show them, they're like, But in East Hub, I've got a brand new listing. Held the house open on Saturday, and I had 20 people go through, with 2 of them going back with their agent. So it's different, it's the area, it's the houses, it's wonky right now.
Yes, sir, Eric,
Hey Jim, good morning.
Mr. Online Presence himself. I like your postings.
I tell you, I'm gonna reveal a current weakness of mine, I think, and it may apply to others too, is I need to get my elevator pitch down. And I used to be able to succinctly say to buyers or sellers or prospects, whatever, what's going on in the market, very easily, like kind of rapidly, right? And I'm finding it more difficult when people say, hey, what's going on in the market and how's the market, right? Because Brenda was just touching on it. There's just so many different things happening. In some cases, homes are moving quickly, like we said, and you have to go into longer conversations and explanation about it. And I'm finding myself pausing when I'm getting that, but that's just me saying, hey, I need to brush up on my scripts and I need to have, it's still hard to really describe it more quickly the way you want to, right?
I typically don't describe it, I just say, why do you ask?
Yeah, well, that too, and we talk, it's just.
I can't describe it, so. Anybody else want to, because I'm gonna get the stats, anybody else want to weigh in on this at all?
I think it's the day that you're asking the question. And I truly mean that. This past weekend, I could have been out of town. It was just as flat as anything, but then somebody else had tons of folks at open house. School's starting back, the weather changed. I know that may seem silly, but when the weather changes, everything changes. Everybody's mood changes, their outlook upon things change. So I think we have some both external and internal pressures on buyers, not on sellers as much.
Let's look at the stats. Now, I put them a couple for us to look at, and I'll just look at them together. Except Kim just left. So she'll be back in 1 second. There we are, Kim. Next slide. Good evening on the job. All right, guys, so you can't see this very, very well, but, and by the way, Kim has your talking points, okay? How many listings? So this is last year at this time, we had 5,759 listings. Now we have, in June, 6,000 listings. So it's up by 6%, okay? So it's up by 6%. How can you use that as a talking point for your sellers right now? What should you be telling them knowing that it's up 6%?
Price.
Say it again?
Price it well.
All right, tell me what that means. What does price well mean?
I just, I've seen so many price reductions, I've got somebody selling and same folks buying. And it's just amazing to see the price reductions that are out there. And, so if you're selling, you need to price it up because there's more competition, and if you're overpriced, it's gonna sit. It would anyway, but if there's more competition. Yeah.
So is the discussion, Mr. Seller, we need to be priced well going in the market because there's much more competition right now. Is that the script? Is that what you say? Anybody want to add anything to that? Pardon me?
Absolutely.
All right, tell me how would that look, Eric?
Well, we can show the data.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously we have the most amazing data, so that's kind of easy to do and say, look, we can zone in on your area and here's what's showing and.
All right, let's go to the next one. Active listings last year at this time, 9,009, no, I'm sorry, back up, I'm sorry. Back up, I'm sorry. I told you, Zig, you should leave right there. So active listings last year at this time was 9,900. Now we're at 13,000, 34% increase in listings. What does that script sound like? What would you tell your seller? How would you use that to get it priced correctly?
It's just pure competition, it's supply and demand, there's more supply. Demand is kind of waning, they're waiting, as we were saying, so.
Buyers have a lot more choices.
I like that. Buyers have a lot more choices right now.
And they're negotiating and they're getting it. And your house needs to be perfect in a lot of
You have to be the prettiest girl at the dance.
All right, say it one more time.
You have to be the prettiest girl at the dance.
And what does that look like?
Spend the money up front.
The peas, the paint, the planting, the pricing, everything has to go together.
If it's not listed in my house, I think you'll say, well-maintained older gentleman's house. But it ain't perfect inside by clothes, which is great. So I like having the prettiest girl on the block. I like that. Okay. All right, number pending. Last year at this time, 4,000, 5,000, sorry. And now we have 4,680, so it's down 6.4%. What is the script for that? Why is that important? When we have a mastermind, I ask questions, you
Sorry,
respond.
did you say, Jim, pendings are down? Is that-
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, I may have.
Pendings are down by 6.4%, that's right, Joe. Which, you go from 5,000 down to 4,680, is that a huge drop? It is not, it is not. So is that an important point to note?
Not really.
I think the more important point is that we have more listings and fewer what?
Buyers.
Fewer buyers, fewer sellers, that's the right, Joe. All right, and then look at close. Now, this one surprised me. Last year at this time, in this month, we had 3,600 closed. Now we've got 4,000 closed. So it's actually up 11%. Does that surprise anybody in this room? Anybody?
It's just where the day fell.
That's what?
It's just where the day fell on the calendar.
Okay.
The other numbers do not indicate that.
Tell me-
So it's just where the day fell on the calendar.
All right, tell me more about that. The day fell on the calendar. That just means when it closed?
Yeah, August, we're looking at the month of August,
Right.
do we start yesterday?
Yeah.
Or do we start 3 days ago? I don't know. Well, I do know. Well, no, we do know because we start at the first of the month.
Yep.
When we're looking at statistics. But reality is, when did we close? We closed in July to get the people in for school. So the calendar has a lot to do with it, just where the days fall.
I agree with that. I
Jim,
must,
I got a
yes, sir.
question for you. How much do you guys, all y'all think that these numbers are inaccurate because of new construction that doesn't ever go into FMLS? I mean, cause are there all, with new home subdivisions offering 3.99, is that a lot of sales? I don't know.
They are,
Can't hear you, what'd you say?
the new construction is also kind of,
Yeah, it's
stuck.
down.
I mean, I have been training and with, touring new construction just because you may say, well, I cannot sell, I don't have a buyer, let me tour the new construction. And what they are telling me is that they are giving more concessions because they are stuck with their inventory and they cannot progress. Because it's costing them money and now, the supplies of materials are going higher. So they are really trying not to go high in price and they are trying to compensate that they are stuck with their inventory. Even though they are not in their MLS.
That would make sense. They wouldn't be offering those concessions if they were flying
Well,
off the shelf, right?
concessions like, obviously that kind of things to motivate the buyers, but not too much that, a loss for them.
And so that's a great perspective. Paige?
As far as, I am fortunate today, period, no, I am fortunate today to have a property listed by, one of the, attorneys and board members for a large, construction company that sells, million-ish homes. And believe it or not, that's just homes that are being built out there as, inventory.
Are there prices up there at $450 for new homes anyplace? Are they out there? Pardon me?
Far away.
Far away.
Far away.
Actually, Hiram, Douglas,
Yeah, that's far away.
That's far away.
yeah.
Relative speaking.
But he shares stats with me on a daily basis. As you can only imagine, I have his house listed and not under contract. But he has, last week, they had a huge meeting, nationwide meeting, and said this is what's gonna happen over the next 6 months. And they have the funds available to hire the best statisticians that there are. And they came up with a national number. Then he called me the next day and he said, okay, I had a Southeastern meeting. Then he called me the next day and he said, okay, I had a Metro Atlanta meeting. So in the Metro Atlanta meeting, they're saying that, we're looking at April. That we're looking at April of having a strong market again. So that's a double dip for April. So those folks who have been wise with their pennies have got lots to look forward to. Because if this is correct, and these are the best statisticians, I mean, it's like arguing with Gary Keller, I guess, and he's been wrong too, but, these statisticians are nationwide and are the best of the best, and that is the second person that I have had conversations with that has said April is the target. Now, how many months away is that? It's 8 months away, I counted. Do you have 8 months reserved?
That's the question.
Who believes it's probably next spring before the market really starts being strong? Who believes that? Who doesn't really know?
Anyone's guess.
Everybody knows.
I got, this one actually was good news.
That's the
coming to-
answer. Nobody
This is
knows,
actually good
even those
news.
brilliant people.
That's right.
I just look at these stats and I caution everybody in this room. I'm not gonna say don't use them, I'm just saying, there's 9 counties in there. And it makes me super uncomfortable, which is why it's like, oh, active is up, pending is down, closed is up, you know, and I look at this and I'm like, this is just too broad. It's not insignificant. As a whole, you know, it says a story, but it may not be your seller's story, and it might not be our East Cobb story or our specific spot in Woodstock. And I just say, take this with a grain of salt, and then take these same numbers and look at the area of the house you're selling and look at that, because I think this is okay for us to discuss here. But it's really hard to make sense out of 9 counties, and I mean, you all know that if you're selling a property in Paulding, there is no way it's the same as East Cobb or Woodstock versus Douglas. Like, it's just night and day, and that's the only thing I always try to just dig down on, those micro numbers.
And that's the exact thing that I was about to say too, Brenda, and you and I agree, to agree on a lot of things and agree to disagree on some things. But that is spot on. It depends on that micro, sometimes it's certain streets in certain neighborhoods that are selling quicker than others.
Yeah, I mean, list a home in Walton right now, between that 1 and 1.2, and most of them are selling almost immediately, but then try to sell a house at 700 in Pope, and you're like, what the heck's going on? So, I mean, I just feel like, anyway, but I mean, it's not.
I just, but something really strange, I agree with the statistics and everything, but this one, something really strange happening, because, for example, my case, I have this name, I don't know what is in Marietta, and I start doing, open houses. During the weekdays, nobody shows the property, no agents request any showings, and then I want to show my client that I'm still doing things right, so I have been pretty much doing open houses every weekend.
Wow.
And believe it or not, just like Anthony said, every weekend I get 8 to 6 buyers coming to the house. I mean, so it's just, obviously I have no offers yet, but it has been like, okay, I did this again, and I did this again that weekend, and Saturday and Sunday, and I have the buyers coming, but why they are not buying? And they don't come with their agents, and they don't say that they have agents. What is happening? I do not know, but the buyers are there. I just don't know
I
what
think
is
they're coming
happening.
and saying, oh, we'll be ready for this when the rates go down. I think that's what they're doing is if the rates go down.
Oh, this is so concerning.
A lot of looky loos.
And Susan?
Does that say June or July?
June.
Okay, well, typically, if you look at the graph in FMLS, June is the best month for closing. So,
But it's not for sales.
Right.
Those correct,
under
but
contract,
see,
yeah.
they were shopping in May and April, and then they close in June, because they wanna get out.
That's exactly what I'm saying about those.
It's the time of the day, yeah.
It's the time of the day.
Right.
And you all, the average sales price last year, medium probably was $495, now it's $514, up 4%, and that's the number Gary Keller says we want. Going at 4% is natural.
That's what it was in 2000.
Exactly.
It was going up
And
3
the
to 4%.
newspapers and the news is saying, guess what? We're losing money in our houses now. Housing prices are going down. I'm like, where are you getting that from? Because it sells newspapers. Days in the market right now, we're gonna move on to the next slide. What's 20 now, 28? Does that surprise anybody in here? Above 8 days? That surprise anybody? Should not.
Yeah, it does. I'm surprised that it's not a bigger
Right, because
discrepancy.
it's, okay, again, area, in Gainesville, where I have the best listings I've ever had, that house is immaculate, it's 70 days to go on the contract. 70 days.
I mean, that to me
Yeah.
is, I was gonna say normal market, I'll say familiar market.
Familiar, and then if you come to East Cobb, in a certain sector of East Cobb, it's gonna be 30 days. So it's a
We're all saying the
40
same thing, it's the
Right.
micro market.
Yeah, so I agree with Brandon, you wholeheartedly, yeah, you can use this, but then you gotta narrow down to school district, to area, to whatever.
Well, I think that's what he's just basically doing is you can use this, you can either go macro or micro to kind of make an argument to whatever your buyer or sellers want to do.
Yeah, I think.
Guys, is there anything up here before we move to the next slide, because we're running out of time, that surprises you? Failed listings are up by 5%, does that surprise you?
No.
What does a failed listing mean? What does it mean? Virginia, what does failed listing mean?
You overpriced it.
They go price and
It didn't
did not
close.
sell.
sell.
It did not close.
There's still a lot of people out there trying to price like 2020,
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
I agree.
I don't think the houses that are priced right are priced.
Let's go to the next slide, please, Kim. All right, so let's look at this normal market. Now, guys, why did they pick 2019 as a normal market? Does anybody know?
I guess, anything after that was pandemic related.
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic, right? So in normal market of June 19, 14,000 listings. Current market is what? 13,000. Did we sell more houses in 19 than we did this year so far? We did? Is that what you got? Number pending, 7,000, almost 8,000. This is the telling one though, it's 4,000. 4,000. Number sold, 5,400, 5,490, 4,000. Supply months, 2.6, 3.3. Sales price, look at it, 2019, 305, now it's what, almost 515. Median days in the market, 22, now it's 28. Sales price was the original, 97.8, 97.6, very similar. Reductions, 36%, 40%. Failed listings, 27 to 36. Distress sales, almost nothing.
Jim, you go back to median percentage of sales price, and it's virtually the same.
Right.
And it's under 100%.
100%.
And we saw everything was over 100%. We will pay more than what you were asking. So we are now looking at going back to 2019, which was more of, and I hate to even say this in a real estate conversation, but normal market.
Okay.
So except the interest rate was 4.15 in 2019.
It was in 19?
In 19, it was 5.
Well, this is just according to bank rate, and it's an average, it says 4.13.
Which is kind of where we should be heading by April of the coming year. So that it is all saying kind of the same thing.
Does anybody remember how many listings we had during 2007 and 8? To Metro Line? Y'all
I
remember?
had 32.
You had 32 listings? Do I remember how many we had in Metro Line? Between 35 and 40,000. But think about that, and that was the worst market I've ever been in. Even though people that investors, they make money then, a bunch. We should have all bought more real estate back during that time, guys. So guys, are we anywhere close to that market? Yet I heard reporting saying, you know, that there's gonna be an adjustment in the market, the price is gonna go way down. Is that gonna happen? No. Now could it? I was the one that said coffee would, no one ever paid $5 for a cup of coffee, so that's just what I measured. I said, so what is this story over here? What should we be focusing on right now in your business? What should we be focusing on? Leah, what do you think? What are you focusing on these days?
I think just getting up every day, putting one foot in front of the other and doing all the things.
Yeah.
I mean, I do not, it's not that I don't look at this because it is important, but the people that I have buying and selling this year have a reason. You know, a divorce, a job, it's a big reason usually. And I've had, you know, a lot of good, wonderful folks that I've worked with, and we've gotten their property sold, or we've purchased, you know, a great property with a lot of seller concessions for them on the other end. And I feel like not getting distracted by all the news and all the hype is helpful, and just focusing on each person as an individual and what their needs are every time you get in front of, you know, a buyer or a seller. So just, that's what I'm doing, just doing the steps every day and not getting distracted.
So, focus right now should be what you just now said, getting up every morning, putting one foot in front of the other, and doing your job. And your job is really generate. I'm gonna go back to something Brenda brought up that I hadn't even thought about. Is this information you all need to help you sell houses, or just good information, or do you need something different as far as statistics? Is it what you need, or do you even care what's up there?
Well,
I'll I'll just say this, I mean, I know we can't do it in this setting, but like drilling down into the documents where you can change, you know, at least to pull up East Cobb, right? I mean, and I think the points here are made great. I mean, you can only use, and we're August and we're looking at June data, so it's, we have to wait, you know.
It's a 30-day lag.
Yeah, so the challenge is.
Actually, this, yeah, June, it should, by the way, they should say June 2025,
Yeah.
not 24. That's a misprint.
Yeah, but, anyway, so.
When you say drill down, tell me what that means.
Well, there's other slides, I mean, this is such a high level, the ladies here made the point, you know, it's 8 counties or whatever it is. So in the working documents, you can go in and manipulate and actually change the county, you can, you know, the area, I don't know, there's different ways you can go in and look at specific East Cobb. Like if we could just look at East Cobb, that would be probably satisfy most people here for at least having a more localized conversation. But there's still different school districts in East Cobb, so it depends.
Anybody like look just at East Cobb?
I mean, cause that's where we are, so it's like, we
He
can
will
pick it.
bring you anything that you want. If something helps you, but I have a very quick question for you. The Rosters puts on a stats presentation once a quarter, and they go through for 2 hours to talk about all this. Why aren't you going to it? Don't know about it?
Market matters.
Too much? What'd you say, Brenda?
Nothing.
But
you know what I was gonna say about, like, I like this slide a lot, because I think as agents, and it's a little bit about what you said, is I think agents, you look at this and you go, guys, our market isn't awful, why do we walk around?
Can we get a hand for that?
We walk around like the sky is falling, and it's like, guys, this is just, it's part of it's like, what Paige says, part of it's seasonal, part of it's raise, part of it's what the government's do. Come on, we're not gonna be don't let every little thing affect you. You just, this is nice because it makes you go, check. Guess what? Market's not bad. Market's pretty darn good. It's just that if you've been in a great market and now you're just in a more stable market, all of a sudden you're like, what's wrong? Something's happening. What's gonna happen? Oh my gosh, we're gonna lose everything. People are gonna go into foreclosure. It's not. We just have to, I love this slide, because this slide really just says, get to work.
And rates are below historical
Get to work.
average.
Rates are what?
Rates are below historical average.
Exactly right.
So it's how we present it, the sky's not falling, you just have to stay focused, go to work.
And you know what, real financial people with a lot of money, they don't stop doing transactions because the rate went up 1%. Like seriously? They still
Exactly,
do
and
stuff.
that's why the people
No.
waiting for rates to drop are making a huge mistake, because they're gonna drive prices up with their,
Let's be strategic.
if such a huge percentage jumps into the market at the same time.
Well, and now's the perfect time to tell your buyer, get off the sidelines. You're not gonna make it up in rate, but let's make it up in price, right? Hey, right now, you can have more seller concessions, do it now, because you know what, you're gonna wait till February, because you think those rates are gonna go down, and you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a bidding war.
Yes.
1 million more, and then you know what, you're gonna say to me, I wish I had done it last year. Guess what, you can't turn back time, you have to act in the market right now.
You can't turn back time except you can refinance.
Well, right,
And that's part of a script that I
wait till the
use.
rate goes down.
Mary, the house goes to rate.
Where do you need to live today?
Yes.
And that's who we're dealing with, is people that need to live somewhere today, not when the interest rates go down.
And if you look at what the rental market is doing, buy, you need to buy. I mean, the rental market has gone up so much,
Case in point,
so much.
I have a couple moving from Texas, took them all over Atlanta because I didn't know where they wanted to be. And she said, I can't believe the rental prices.
Oh, it's crazy.
So we secured something in Roswell for $5,000 a month. And, she was like, that's ridiculous. And then she called me yesterday and she said, we decided we wanna buy. So they're coming back this weekend, and we're gonna start looking for them something to buy.
Well, that's Hunter.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that I wanted to.
Do it in English for us, Hunter.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of things I wanted to add. So the last 10 contracts that I've had Can anybody take a guess at how much the summer payments added up to?
Oh, 10,000 at least.
150.
It was $113,000 on 10 contracts divided
Oh,
that
yeah.
out.
What was the number?
Now, $113,000
Seller.
from seller concessions,
Oh.
being applied to buyers' closing costs
Combined,
on combined, on
okay.
10 contracts.
Yeah.
So there's deals out there to be made, and then also too, whenever we talk to the buyers, you send them a range at different interest rates, anywhere from 6.25% all the way up to 6.99. And when you discuss those numbers with them, 9 times out of 10, the monthly payment is very comfortable at that higher interest rate. And that just shows them, hey, look, we're not saying that the rate is not important, because it most certainly is. But if you're, number one, if you're gonna try to time the market, you'd probably, be buying this place cash to begin with. Nobody's gonna predict exactly where it's gonna go. You might get lucky a few times. But whenever they have those actual numbers in front of them with the monthly payments, they get to come to that realization on their own, as opposed to taking one of us at our word. So I found a lot of success with that. People, and, giving them different price points, and say, okay, well, if you qualify for 500, maybe you look at, between 400 and 500. This is what the monthly payments would look at each purchase price with, 6 or 7 different interest rates, and then you can choose which one is the best for you. And every time we've done that, we've had no pushback at all. It's always been, okay, great, we'll take this one. And people are gonna pay, if they say that their budget is $2,500 for, for a mortgage payment, well, inevitably, they're gonna come across that forever home that's gonna end up being $2,800, $2,900, $3,000. And if you run those numbers with them up front, they can make that choice right then and there and say, okay, you know what? We can stretch $2,900, we're just being, extremely conservative. So I've really had no issue or no pushback with interest rates, or, once you show them the monthly payments, because, you say 6.99 to 6.5, what is that, $100, $125? I mean, you're gonna miss out on that equity.
It's totally perspective. I was in underwriting, the interest rates were double digits, and we literally had files piled up against walls to underwrite, because people were buying homes left and right, and it was double digit interest rates. And we're talking about 6.5, guys. Like, we need to train our consumer better. Like, we do a terrible job. The media really hurts us and hurts the consumer, doesn't want them to get ahead. I hate to say this, but literally double digits. People were buying homes left and right. They knew that home ownership was the ticket to start to gain wealth, and they were buying homes. And
Say it again.
Yes.
Say it again.
Right, that the way to build wealth is to begin
Number
by
one.
buying a home. It is, because it is a forced savings plan. I tell every buyer, this is a forced saving plan.
That's it.
Yes, you're paying, let's say your mortgage payment is, $3,500. Guess what? 600 of that is going towards it. That's your forced savings plan. And at the same time, over time, you will gain appreciation. So now you've got your forced savings plan with appreciation, and before you know it, you go into your next house and you continue to do that. Every person that we've sold a home to, well, not every person, but the majority of your clients that you sold homes to are better off financially today than they were when they first bought their first home. And we just don't spread the right message. We get scared because something changes, but really it's a good market, and these interest rates shouldn't really stop anybody from buying.
Yeah, and what also impacts it too, I mean, you have somebody that, has a $1,600 one car payment. It's not really a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not really a house that they can't afford. It's their lifestyle and their consumer and their spending.
Consumerism.
Consumer debt is up exponentially. Even look at the cost of cars. You go buy an $80,000 BMW. If you don't put down a sizable amount or buy it cash, that monthly payment's gonna be very high.
And nobody's looking at the rate on that, you wanna buy a car, you just ask what the monthly payment is, right? So if you just refocus on what's the monthly payment for your house, it's gonna seem low in comparison to the, some car payments.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you get 0 appreciation. You actually
Right.
lose like half of it. Yeah.
And you all, I do simple math, so if you wait next year, interest rates may be down 0.5%.
And then you've got the
Well,
house,
but the house
and then
is
you
gonna
can
go how
refinance
much?
it, yeah.
4%. So are you saving anything? The answer is no, you're not. It's costing you more. Anyway, guys, great discussion. If y'all want some statistics, we're not gonna bring them to you, but just tell us. We'll do whatever y'all want to make you better versed in what's going on in the market. Okay? Anything anybody wants to say before we close? Sean, next week, what you want to tell about that? Or do you have something you want to tell us right now?
There are estimated to be 7 million buyers sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy houses right now in the US. If your clients are unsure, remind them of that. That could be their competition.
And they will not pay, they'll pay a lower interest rate, but they'll pay a higher purchase price, and the monthly payment is exactly the same.
I know, I'll let.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Jen McClure, and I recently joined Supreme and Hunter, and I'm gonna be.
Should have been.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out of this office, so I'm excited to meet all of you.
Okay, let's give her a hand. All right, anybody else before we close? Yes, ma'am, Virginia.
I want to thank you and the staff. Y'all are on fire this year, making things easier and better for us.
Absolutely, thank you guys. And I wish I could take credit for everything, but I can't. They're coming with a lot of it, which is actually great. All right, guys, last but not least, yes, sir, David.
I want to wish Margaret a happy 1-year anniversary.
Anybody else?
Hey Jim, we, yesterday, some of you guys had bought a ticket to the Silverton Foundation raffle. And, we sold 147 tickets at $100 a piece. And all that money went to the Silverton Foundation, so what's that? 14-7, and, so somebody won season tickets, right, 50-yard line, 3 rows back, for the Falcons, so cool. So thank you guys for the ball tickets.
Who's going to mega camp?
A lot of activities, guys, there. I'm looking forward to y'all being there. If you still want to go, you can get a ticket. So, anything else we need to talk about? Next week, we're gonna dive down and Kenny's gonna help us on what's going on with social media. So that'll be next week. So stay tuned and we will report. Thank you all. Enjoy your day.